Solana and BONK, it is time to pay attention. My name is Mikemadz. Let's start this video. Before we start the video, as always, please do me a huge favor. Please like, comment below, let me know your thoughts. Do you still hold Solana and BONK? Subscribe, all that good stuff. Let's stop wasting time. Let's start. Alright, let's get into it. Let's take a look at the bullish metrics here first for Solana. Why, guys? Because the price alone, of course, is not a great indication where things are headed. And more importantly, it's not a great indication here if the blockchain here or the metrics here are actually healthy, growing, or are actually slowing down here in the background. As you can see here in the last couple of days, price can be driven by fear, price can be driven by market makers, price can be driven by news. So let's not focus on the price here, focus on the metrics, see if things are moving in the right direction, and then we go from there. First things first here, we have the stablecoin inflows here. Absolutely massive news. Solana saw an inflow of $166 million in stablecoins. And more importantly here, this was one of the third largest inflows in Solana history. This simply shows you here, inflows are still massive here despite this dip. This is a great indication here that people went in and are ready to buy the dip, first of all, scoop up Solana or to scoop up Solana ecosystem tokens. Stablecoin inflows, absolutely still massive, and there's no signs of slowing down. Next thing up, we have active addresses here. Over 1 million active addresses interacted with the Solana blockchain here in the last 24 hours. This was posted April 17th, but either way, this was a growth of around 26% and around 200,000 new wallets here in the last 2 days. Now, of course, we had this massive peak here. This massive peak here was the meme phase here of Solana, where everything was traded as a meme. Memes were the headlines everywhere, still are to a degree, but much more muted here. I'm happy about the fact here because this was starting to worry me, because this was a typical top signal behavior. Now, I'm pretty sure this phase here will come back, and will come back actually much bigger once retail is here in the later stage of the cycle here. Now, comparing the daily active addresses to other blockchains here, and especially Ethereum, just a disclaimer, this is not the most fair comparison, as you can set up hundreds of Solana wallets here for very cheap. But either way, let's take a look at it here. On the April 17th here, Solana had 1.4 million active addresses, comparing to Ethereum here, approximately 500,000. Why is this important either way? It simply shows you Solana is winning mind share in the space. Very important. And the most important thing is here, Solana is gaining dominance. This is actually one of the most bullish indications here that we might reach that high valuations that I always keep talking about, $500 and plus. Solana dominance. Always keep an eye on the Solana dominance, especially comparing it to Bitcoin, and of course, especially comparing to Ethereum. All right, taking a look at the price action. Why is that important? Because most people, guys, are freaking out. I get DMs here asking me if Solana is going to zero. What is happening here? Solana is crashing, etc. Guys, perspective is super important, and zooming out sometimes is even more important. Okay, now take a look at the price action of Solana here. If you would have bought the bottom here on Solana, you would still be up here 1,700% here from the bottom. Even if you didn't catch the bottom here, and if you bought at $30, you would still be up massively here. So it's important to zoom out. It's important to have a long time horizon. And this also shows you timing the market, and time in the market are actually super important things here. So if you would have bought the bottom here, still up 1,700%, despite the fact we had this massive dip here in the last couple of days. Now, taking a look at this dip, we are currently down 31%. This is actually a decent correction to start DCAing Solana if you have no position and if you were left behind with no altcoins. Now, of course, we can go lower than that, but this is why it's super important, as I always stress, guys, always, no matter what, always have a cash position on hand in order to reap benefits here of those corrections. Because if you don't have enough Solana here, and if you see this correction here, if you have no cash on hand, you will get frustrated here. Pretty simple, because you would have wished to bought at those prices. If you have enough Solana, if you're happy with your position, and if you're not faced by these corrections, then you're doing fine either way. In 6 months, you will be smiling either way, most probably here. Now, of course, not financial advice, but zooming out even more, guys. If you are in the Solana ecosystem this cycle, you are already winning either way. Why is that? Because other projects are doing much worse, guys. And even Bitcoin is outperforming those other projects. Now, taking a look at one of those other projects, Cardano here. If you would have bought Cardano here from the bottom, you would be only up 125%. So Bitcoin outperformed you, first of all. You took on more risk for less gains for a dinosaur token, which has no development, which is super slow paced, which brags with its scientific approach, PhD approach, super slow development. This is the wrong space here, the crypto space. is the wrong place to have super slow development. Everything is super fast paced. As I kept telling you in the bear market, guys, winners are gonna win. Dinosaur coins here are most probably not going to make it here. Now take a look at the correction here. You took on more risk with Cardano, had less gains than Bitcoin, which is much safer, and you're down 38% currently at this dip. Now, I'm not hating on the Cardano community. This is not my goal here. And Cardano most probably here will reach its all-time high here and go higher than that. But you simply took on more risk, have less gains. This just simply shows you guys, make sure to be in winning projects, to be in winning narratives, to be in winning ecosystems. And if you are in the Solana ecosystem here, you're doing much better currently than some of the others. All right, taking a look at what's next for Solana here. If you used Solana here in the last recent days or weeks, you would most probably have noticed that some transactions are failing and some transactions are not going through. First, disclaimer here. If you are using other blockchains that have zero activity, don't compare it to Solana, which is absolutely exploding with activity and is flourishing with usage. Very bad mistake to do. Let's first see how other blockchains are reacting to this kind of volume here, and then we can judge. But either way, of course, updates are being built, typical Solana style here, on the way. And very important update here, 1.17 is almost finished here, and the more important one, 1.18, is most probably going to take care of this issue. But the more important thing here that is coming here hopefully soon on Solana is going to be the second client here on Solana, which is going to be Firedancer. Making it even faster here, and most importantly, this will take care of the outages. This is a very important narrative for Solana and will be a main driver here, in my personal opinion, for Solana to reach those high valuations. So let's keep an eye on it. Some people are expecting this to drop here at the end of the year or early next year, but let's see how that goes. Of course, I have to cover BONK here. I did not give up on BONK, guys, and I'm most probably here until the next year will not give up on this project. I still see massive potential, and we are getting around this time where people are giving up on it, which is actually interesting for my case, as I like to have contrarian trades here, and those trades usually tend to outperform other markets. Now, taking a look at BONK here, we had an interesting fact here in Dubai. For whatever reason, we had a drone show here representing BONK. Maybe it was because of the fight night here. Interesting to see. And more importantly, guys, you have to zoom out also with BONK here. We are 8,600% up from its lows. So massive gain to the upside here. Of course, in the short term, we are down here 70%. It hurts if you bought the top. But in the big picture here, you're still up massively. And this dip here in the grand scheme of things is absolutely a joke here. Of course, 70% here if you bought the top, of course it hurts. This is actually a great place to buy spot in my personal opinion. Not financial advice. Can we dip lower? 100% we can dip lower. Things can of course escalate to the downside even more. But overall, guys, if an asset dips 70%, and if this asset has future ahead, and again, as I always say, BONK is Solana on steroids. If Solana drops 30%, BONK drops 60%, but also vice versa. If Solana is going to pump to $1,000, you can only imagine where BONK is headed. This is not financial advice. I personally did not give up on my position. I personally am still up massively here on my position. And this phase here reminds me of this phase down here where most people gave up on BONK here. I held my position because it was too late to sell. And then I made crazy gains here on my position. Out of luck, I have to say. This was mostly luck-driven trade. But right now, I understand the narrative of BONK here. Understand the correlation here between Solana and BONK. And this is why I'm not selling my position. At the end of the day, guys, as always, do your own research. Super important. Be bullish on yourself. That yields the most returns. At the end of the day, guys, as always, don't get wrecked.
Giving up from blue tops like Mars Simpson, just hard discipline, pot simmering, cooking up, no rocks in the pan, watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts in our head, late nights, no sleep in my bed, trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we nice. Put the past on ice.